Okay, is this working? I don't see my chat. Give me a second. Let's see if this is working. Hello, hello. Uh, we all sing songs and make s'mores around the campfire. That sounds like a good thing. Give me a sec. Let's see, hopefully this is working. Can someone say whether this is working? Hopefully. We're playing it by ear here, as always. Let's see, I'm gonna connect to my own channel, see if I can see myself on YouTube, because I'm a narcissist like that. Oh yes, it seems to be working. Excellent. Thank you, Luca. Hello, Sam. Hello, Chuck. Good morning / evening, etc., etc. I'm not sure why I cannot see my my actual chat on the on my streaming software. There it is. There it is. Much better. Okay, I'm not sharing my screen yet, so no one panic yet. We're probably good. So what's been happening, guys? So we have Marvin joining, saying this should be fun. Yeah, I mean it might not work at all. We'll see. There's actually some fog right now over that telescope in Chile, so we'll see. We have Gorilla Cos. Hello, 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 Gorilla. Oliver is saying, I don't know if I can stay awake long enough. Did that wake you up? Hopefully I didn't panic anyone else. Triton's Astrophotography, first time in a Cuiv stream. Welcome, Triton. Thanks for joining the stream. Marvin, it's 4 p.m. And indeed, 4 p.m. is a good time to have a campfire and to sing songs and make s'mores. Luca, and Luca is actually our VIP guest today. He's the guy who is providing us with the telescope that hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to be using today to image from Chile, because that's where he is. And I'm extremely jealous. He's like one valley away from some professional large telescope equipment, crazy stuff. So hopefully that's gonna work. Everyone cross your fingers and toes, and we'll see what happened. So Prof Aaron, looking forward to this. Me too. It might be a disaster, in which case I'm not looking forward to it, but we shall see. We have an astronomer who is not Amish. Hello from Ohio. And yes, Sam, howdy. Chuck, good morning. We have Stephen from Alabama. And Jesus, OMG, someone's moving my telescope. Who is moving your telescope? I hope it's Nina. If it's Nina, it's fine. We can allow Nina to move your telescope. Sean, hi, hey Cuiv, hello, hello. Bartholomew, it's working, thank you. And it's midnight for Triton. Midnight, so it's like you're in Europe. Thanks for joining. Good night from the Netherlands, from Edwin. Message in Russian saying it's 2 a.m. I guess, and I cannot even read your name. So let me Google it. I should be able to pronounce. Maybe not pronounce. Hard to read. Let's see. Nope. I'm not able to pronounce your name. Sorry about that. I do not read Cyrillic characters. Manuel, hello Cuiv from Mexico. Thanks for joining, Manuel. Oh, and someone is saying you should add a bit of volume to the mic input. It does look already pretty loud on my mixer. It's like getting into the orange zone, almost the red. I'm not sure that I want to add. I mean, I could bring it closer by just tightening the t-shirt on my back, so you can see my beautiful Order of the Lazy Geeks t-shirt here, which is available as merch. Link is down in the description. But hopefully you can hear well. Douglas, hey from Canada. Hello, Douglas. Thanks for joining from Canada. We have Ryan. Hi, Cuiv. Hello, Ryan. William House. William House is in the house. You've never heard that before, I'm sure. And I apologize for this very bad joke. Hello. And Pete's Astrophotography has also joined. Hello, Cuiv. Hello, Pete. Welcome, welcome. Gorilla Kos, you're in Greece, so it's like what, midnight, 1 a.m. now in Greece? Yeah, so Müde Schneide, go to bed whenever you wish to do so. Not a problem at all. We have Aaron in the United States. And Luca, who is providing the scope for tonight, is indeed suggesting that we cross fingers, toes, and everything that can be crossed without breaking anything. Like don't cross your telescope and mount onto your tripod. Probably not a good idea. We have Kyle's Astrophotography. Greetings, Cuiv, from Georgia, USA. Hello, Kyle. I love Georgia. I've been there many times. I have family there in Rome, GA. Marvin R. in the castle of R. Sorry, if you got that reference, let me know in the chat. Greetings from Germany. Thanks for joining from Germany, Marvin. Let's see. Good night from Northern Ireland. Wow, Nomi's Astro joining from Ireland, Northern Ireland. Sorry, to be more precise. And we have James from New Zealand. So James, probably like whatever we image tonight, it's not going to be a mystery to you because you are one of those lucky people in the southern hemisphere. We have Etienne Morin from Quebec. Thanks for joining us, Etienne. And Hugh Hamasaki joining again. I think you've been on almost all of my lives, man. Good afternoon, Hugh. Thanks for joining. And Edwin, yeah, don't force yourself to stay awake. I have a very soothing voice. Feel free to go to sleep with the sound of my beautiful voice. We have, oh wow, someone joining across the river from Cape Canaveral. Any rocket launches going on these days? And Douglas is asking, are you answering questions? I absolutely can answer questions. Ask anything you like. I cannot guarantee that I will answer that specific question, but you can ask anything, like what did you eat for breakfast? What telescope would you like to use if you had $1 million? Anything you like. Federico, hi Cuiv from Fargo, North Dakota. Thanks for joining, Federico. And Lord Hill Aquarium. Cuiv the Lazy Stream, exactly. Watching from Washington State, USA. You were there last time as well. I remember you, and I remember a lot of you guys. Thank you, Marvin. You got the reference from Monty Python. We have people from Slovenia. My paragliding club, I didn't go there, but my paragliding club 2 weeks ago was in Slovenia, flying in Slovenia. Who do we have? We have Josh from West London. Helder from Portugal, and it's Hugh is saying, I try, you're always the best. Thank you very much. Not quite, but okay. And I appreciate all you have done for my addiction. Scratch addiction, just say passion. It's more socially acceptable. So Douglas is saying, I am using ASCAR C1 and C2 filters. Do I need to take flats and biases with each filter? Or just one set? So you need to take flats for each filter. You can take biases without any filter, because biases, they don't see any light. So because they don't see any light, they don't even care what filter is there. So what I do is I take, if it's a cooled camera with no amp glow, I take bias frames that are like 1 second, 1 second long, effectively at like -5 degrees or -10 degrees sensor temperature. And I do that once. I don't care about the filter. Once I have those bias frames, I can reuse them again and again for like 6 months before I refresh them, regardless of the filter or even the telescope that I'm using, because the bias frames are effectively linked to your camera and your camera sensor. They only work though if you do not change your gain and offset, and you keep the same temperature and you don't change any of the settings on the camera. Your flat frames need to be per filter, per telescope. Your flat frames are linked more than to the camera. They're linked to your telescope and to your optical train. Hope that helped. Yes, Marvin, the quest for the Holy Grail exactly was the reference. What is the Bortle scale of your location in Japan? 8 to 9. So I'm right next. I'm technically not quite in Tokyo. I'm technically 500 meters away from Tokyo. So yeah, 8, let's say 8 to be generous. Oh wait, first, Sean. Sean gifted 10 Cuiv the Lazy Geek memberships. Thank you so much for your support, Sean. If you're new to lives, there's very easy ways on lives to support the channel. One way is to gift memberships like Sean is doing, which is awesome because it also, gives those icons and members to people who are on the chat right now, who joined my live stream. And you can even do like super thanks, donations, whatever you like. No pressure, of course. So thank you so much, Sean. We have also 2A supporter, Cuiv. Hello from Ohio. Have you had the opportunity to try the Astro Station yet? I've been on TopeTech's heels the whole time. I keep pressuring them, like, send me the Astro Station. These are not the droids you're looking for. But no, they haven't sent it to me yet. I think they're still like ironing out some bugs in the beta, and I hope to get it once it's out of beta, effectively. So we'll see. We have KK, cheers from Hungary, Fruity Records, and cheers KK, thanks for joining. We have Mohammad just saying hi from Dubai. Hi Mohammad, thank you so much for joining from Dubai. We have people from all over the world. Also, Dubai must not be an easy city to do astrophotography from. It must be really hard, actually. Hi Cuiv, what are you up to? I'm doing a pretty nice live stream. Well, not nice yet, but hopefully we will, what will we do? We will be able to image from Chile. I should be spending less time talking. I'll try to catch up with the chats very quickly, and then I can share the screen with the Nina instance. That is a remote desktop to a telescope in Chile that is lent out to me virtually by Luca, who's on the chat. And yeah, we'll see what we do and what we image. We are still 20 minutes from astronomical darkness in Chile, though, so we do have a little bit of time. Then, have you seen the TopeTech EAF yet? Yes, I've seen the announcement, and it's not the EAF, it's the AAF for TopeTech. I don't even remember what the first A stands for. Mohammad, hopefully heading 2 hours away to catch some Perseids this weekend. That would be awesome. Yeah, Dubai, it's super light polluted, but at least you're in the desert, right? So you can drive away to a dark zone fairly easily. Nihar, hi Cuiv, Nihar here from southeastern India. Wow, thanks so much for joining southeastern India. It's like 4:30 a.m., 4:40 a.m. for you, I think. That's very early. Thanks for joining the stream. Then Hugh is joining as a member. Thanks for joining as a member, and a $5 contribution. There you go. That is that's so awesome. So thank you so much, Hugh. That helps. Like every bit like that helps a lot. I'm hoping to go full time on YouTube. The recent market movements and the Japanese yen lowering, getting stronger versus the dollar, etc., are kind of making me scared of that, since the YouTube income is in dollars. But we'll see, and that kind of support actually helps a lot. So thank you so much. We have Josh. Cuiv, have you ever felt burnt out by astrophotography? Yes, I have. I can go story time a bit later. We have Andrew. Hello from Niagara Falls, Canada. Awesome. Thanks for joining. And we do have quite a few Hungarians on the chat. Okay, I'm going to start sharing my screen. Oh, Luca, can you tell us how is the deep sky image, your all sky camera, looking like? Oh, it's slightly better now. It's slightly better. Let me share my screen so you can see what I'm talking about. So my screen, this is the all sky camera from Luca, who is landing the scope for today. It was like, it's still foggy there, but it was clear like 1 hour ago. It's foggy now, but it was more foggy 20 minutes ago. So fingers crossed, fingers crossed. And we have Juan, a Chilean living in Sweden, missed the southern sky. Yeah, I bet, man. And also in Sweden, like right now, you probably don't have any astronomical darkness. I need to, okay, let me go back and let me show you actually the setup that we're going to use. So this is, and this is absolutely insane how tech is working. We have a remote computer with Nina running in Chile that I am accessing literally from the other side of the planet in Japan. And yeah, we have Nina and PhD 2 running there, absolutely insane. And yeah, we do have our camera, which is an APS-C size sensor, monochrome camera, that's cooled to -10 degrees. We have various filters that we're able to use, LRGB, sulfur 2, H alpha, oxygen 3, all of those are chroma filters, so this is high quality. The telescope is a Takahashi FSQ 85, so that's also pretty nice. And focuser is a ZW focuser. Come on, Luca, with an FSQ 85, you're supposed to use a Moonlight or Optic or something like that. I'm just kidding. That's perfectly fine. We have a rotator. I hadn't even noticed that. Oh no, it's manual rotator. That's a fake rotator. We're good then. And we have the AM5 mounts, and yeah, we are connected to a guider as well. We have all of the equipment there. Let me quickly check the chat, what's going on. We're waiting right now for 1, astronomical darkness, 2, for the smog or fog or whatever to get better. So going back to Cuiv, have you ever felt burnt out by astrophotography? Yes, actually several times. It's very easy to get burnt out, especially when you have like you know, periods of clouds, or your equipment is not working and you cannot find the cause, or you've you know, taken the car to a location 3 hours away and it didn't work out, and then you're back and you're like, oh, F that, I'm just gonna stop everything and never do it again. That has happened to me in the past, and I have a big problem is that I've been burnt out by astrophotography like a few times, like on average every 3 years, and I'm overdue for a burnout actually, but it's no, I'm not overdue. In 1 year, I still have 1 year until my next burnout, but it's yeah, it's rough, and then I tend to sell all of my equipment when I do that, so I'm trying not to do that. I recently had actually an issue with my Quattro telescope that in the middle of a session, from one frame to the other, completely lost collimation. Had no idea what was happening, and it had been doing that for a while, and I finally figured out the cause. I hadn't locked the screws on the rotator of the focuser, and so it sagged a little bit, like randomly. But that almost made me want to just sell the whole thing, and that's kind of a burnout. We're getting a lot of stuff. So Luca is saying works nicer than Optech. Let me try to catch up a bit. Marvin is asking, do you have a pic of the equipment? Let me see. Luca, if you are okay with sharing a pic, just share to me on our chat, and then I can display only that image on the computer, so I can show. But it's completely up to Luca. It is not my scope. So what else do we have? Edwin, what is the best / preferred star tracker for me to start using my DSLR? Thinking of getting a Skywatcher GTI. I think a Skywatcher GTI, if it's like the Star Adventure GTI, which is actually a go-to mount, more than a star tracker, is a good idea because it gives you the ability to go further down the road. Because I personally think these days, with stuff like the Star Adventure GTI and with those small lightweight strain wave gear mounts, star trackers are being a bit, unless you're really looking for something tiny, but they're being a bit obsoleted to some extent. So having a mount that is you know, that can be used later as a go-to mount, that can be fully automated with the ESI Air or with Nina, for instance, I think it's a good idea. And I think the Star Adventure GTI is like $500 US. I'm kind of crossing my fingers that, what's their name? Proxy Sky or Umi will be releasing a mount that would be using a Type 14 Strainwave gear drives, and then we'd have a sub $1,000 Strainwave gear tiny mount that would be amazing. But yeah, it would be very interesting. But yeah, long story short, I agree, that's probably a good idea. Alex, hey, from Brisbane, Australia. Hello, Alex. Thanks for joining. I've been to Brisbane, but only for work before. And David is from Outback, Australia, and not Outback Steakhouse. I apologize for that. And Kyle, hello from Philadelphia. What is it? It's always sunny in Philadelphia. Was that it? I don't remember. But yes, thanks for joining from Philadelphia. And we have people from all over the world. Then, oh wait, please tell us if it's worth. We have a donation of what, 50 PLN currency. Polish currency, Polish zloty. So thank you so much for that help. And we have, please tell us if it's worth to buy any of the non-ASI equipment when it comes to convenience. Tell us about your overall experience with these, especially when it comes to not using an ASI Air. So I'm very open about the fact that I personally prefer to use Nina over the ASI Air. I find Nina, once you've set it up, to be just easier. I can just open my sequence and click the play button. And being able to use non-ZW equipment is actually great because you can go bargain hunting. So I showed on the channel like a week ago the Gemini focuser that is what, $70 US compared to $200 US for the EF, and it works, as far as I can tell, just as well. Probably less torque, but unless you have a very heavy imaging train, it shouldn't be a problem. And you cannot use that with the ASI Air. And the ASI Air, it's convenient, it's easy to use at first, but I personally find Nina easier because I'm so used to it. So yeah, I mean, I don't see a problem. The only reason to me that you would restrict yourself to ZW, besides pure brand loyalty, would be if you're using an ASI Air. So yeah, I mean, and I use TopeTech cameras as my main cameras most of the time. I use TopeTech guide cameras as well. I also have ZW cameras, but it's nice to have the whole range of stuff available. Okay, I hope that answered your question, and thanks again for your contribution. Really helps a lot. Let me see. I'm gonna check on my chat with Luca if there's been any picture. Nope. So I'm not sharing anything yet. Okay. Let's see. What else do we have? And sorry, I'm gonna share my desktop again. Boop. Oops. Oh, there we go. Sorry, I didn't even notice that. Sharing my desktop again. There we have the rig. So we have the ZW AM5 with the FSQ 85 with a filter wheel, a TopeTech APS-C size sensor monochrome camera, and on the top we have an IMX533 camera with, again, a filter wheel and a 135mm lens. So yeah, that's some pretty cool equipment right there. That's pretty awesome. Let's see. What do we have? Let me check the all sky camera again. So I was looking at this currency thing. I'm gonna refresh that. Oh, it's getting better. We're getting less and less fog. So this is good. And we're almost at astronomical darkness. So this is pretty neat. But that's a beautiful looking piece of equipment, by the way. We have another question. I saw a question somewhere. Hey Cuiv, in your honest opinion, do any of the alternatives of ASI are viable if you want a flawless experience? I mean, flawless experience once it's set up, again, Nina, it gives to me a flawless experience. It's just at first, it's going to be harder to set up than the SI Air. And I think it's a smoother experience than the SI Air on a day-to-day use basis. But still, the SI Air is amazing as well. Okay, let's see. We have Joseph joining from New Jersey. We have Alan from Montrose, Scotland. Lucas, yep, we can see the moon indeed on the live camera. It's getting the moon is it's still like it's not full moon yet at all, right? Fifth Wheeler, do you use predictive PEC with PhD2? Thanks. Yes, I do use it with normal equatorial mounts. If I use the strain wave geared mount, I think it could make an impact if you find the frequency of the mount, like the I think the AM5N is 283 seconds, something like that, and that could potentially help a little bit. But right now, I think I don't even have it enabled. I just have like the standard, what is it, hysteresis algorithm, and that works really well with those strain wave gear mounts. We have Memi. Hello Cuiv, greets from Murcia in Spain. Quite late at night in Spain. Nice work on the Gemini EEF, and thanks for your explanation on the Meridian flip. Hopefully I'll finally get it to work. I hope so. I hope so. Fingers crossed. Yeah, the mount limits, they're super important. They're often overlooked about how sensitive they can be. And then you have the Meridian flip stuff that need to agree with the mount limits. And strangely enough, it's one of my worst performing videos. I thought it would be an interesting topic, but no, I spent a lot of time on that, but yeah, not so much success for now. We'll see. I hope if it helps at least one person avoid a peer collision, then mission accomplished regardless. Then Lord Hill Aquarium, got a call from High Point Scientific about my carbon star. They are sending replacement parts. So I heard they're sending a thicker thumb screw for the focuser. They're sending a different primary mirror container. I don't know how to call that, the piece that holds the primary mirror. That should help with the pinched optics that they've seen with a lot of their deliveries. And they're also sending a new adapter at the what I call butt plugs for telescope to avoid light filtering through the mirror at the back of the telescope. So that's really good to see that they're apparently sending to everyone who've bought the telescope, and I need to reach out to them. I've just switched recently the coma corrector from my Quattro to the Carbon Star and vice versa, so that the next clear skies that I have, I will be able to check whether the Carbon Star with a different coma corrector still suffers from that slight flare issue on the stars, bright stars that I've noticed. Then what do we have? Fruity Records, that remote ability is so cool, isn't it? No, don't do the burnout again. I'll try not to get burnt out. Thanks, man. Colin joining from Northern Ireland, currently learning to use Nina. Love your videos. If you're learning to use Nina, I have some good videos there, of course, but they're older. There's some less old videos from what's his name, Patriot Astro. So if you search for Patriot Astro, he's had some personal stuff. I don't think he's been doing videos recently, but Patriot Astro has some really good videos and some excellent Nina tutorials. So if you were looking for ways to use Nina better, Patriot Astro is a great way to go. I'll put the link in the chat. That way you have it. Oops, that didn't work out. Oops. Okay, let's try again. Let me try again. I need to get my chat back. There we go. I need to log in. I'm not going to log in with everyone seeing what I'm doing. Just a sec. I'm struggling a bit, but I will be there. Professional streamer, not quite. And while we are at it, I can see that William gifted 10 memberships. thank you so much, William. It's so awesome to see the contributions that I get. It's super rewarding, even if it's a small amount, and this is not a small amount. It's super motivating because I do spend a lot of time, a lot of work on the channel, and the main reason is to help out. But it's awesome also to see that longer term, hopefully this year, it depends. I'm kind of scared of the Japanese yen getting stronger, but hopefully this year I can go full time. And it is thanks to your support that I can go full time. So William, thank you so much. And also by gifting subs like that, you're also like helping the people in the chat, which is pretty awesome. So thank you so much for that. Let me try to log in on the chat so I can try to answer. Hopefully I can. I'm not sure why I wasn't logged in already. I was last time. So that I can post the link to Patriot Astro, who has some awesome Nina videos. Okay, and it's there we go. Continue. Okay, continue. Okay, you've signed in, thank you. Yes, I've signed in, this is good. Okay, now I can send a message in the chat. So this is what I suggest, send in terms of a Nina channel to learn better about Nina. Okay, what other questions do you have? Let me share my desktop again. And session closed. Oops. Okay, let me stop sharing again while I try to reconnect to the telescope. Whoopsie doopsie. Well, that happened. Okay, now that should work. We have Nathan saying hello, Cuiv the Lazy Geek. Also, I got the impression from your videos about the alternatives that sometimes the experience may be a bit rough. And I think the hobby is already hard for newcomers. So with Nina, like I think the most difficult part is the ASCOM drivers and the camera drivers, but that I think that's fine. With things like the StellarMate Pro, definitely it's a rougher experience, but it can help with compatibility with other equipment. I'm very open about that, right? Whether you can go DSLR as a beginner. The main issue that I see with that, and something to be very aware of, is that by doing so, you are effectively restricting yourself to ZW equipment. Which may or may not be a good thing. Actually, it's not a good thing. Restricting yourself to a specific brand is, in general, a bad thing. That's not saying that ZW makes bad cameras or bad equipment. They don't. They make great stuff. But if you want to use a rotator right now, the SIR doesn't work out. If you want to use like a flip-flap kind of panel, that's a flat panel at the same time, there are some ways to make that work with the SIR, but it's a bit clunky. So you are getting yourself into limitations in exchange for that initial smoothness. So it's really a compromise. We have, oh wow, Alex gifted 10 memberships. Thanks so much, guys. There's so much support again today. So that's absolutely amazing. And yeah, thanks so much. It really, really helps out. That's awesome. Then, what else? Nathan, Cuiv, have you seen the recent activity on the sun? I've actually, quickly, it's a lot of fun to look at the sun from time to time. I do have a solar filter from my Quattro, and I try it out from time to time. It's pretty cool. Mark, hey Cuiv, can you do some future vids on combining images with different scopes that may have different camera/scope combos to generate composite images? Okay, let me, I have a list of video ideas and stuff that I want to do on video. somewhere. No, that's old. There we go. So it's actually not difficult. What I would typically do is just do the stacking separately, and then you have the two stacks next to one another in PixInsight. You just do a star alignment on one to the other, and then you use pixel math to combine the two together with weights that make sense. So that, yeah, once you have the weights that make sense based on the amount of imaging time and focal ratio, so you just like guesstimate which image has the better signal to noise ratio, and you'll attribute a larger weight to that one when you do the combination. If your telescopes have, you know, the pixel scale is too different, then it won't work out. But I'd say like with pixel scales that are within a ratio or a factor of 2 from one another, it can work. So let me write it down. Cool. Cuiv, have you ever imaged MZ38? I have no idea what that is, so I will write it down. Alex, thought I'd pay it forward after William House's kind gesture. Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you, William. Thanks everyone who's contributing, and thanks everyone for joining as well. So that's awesome. We are now in astronomical darkness in Chile. Let me check the full sky camera. I think we can probably see through a little bit, right? Let's try. Let's slew somewhere. So you know what? There's a target that I always want to image, and I never get to it because it's low on the horizon and it's in a season where I don't get that many clear skies. But it's Rho Ophiuchi, right? Which is what, M4. So let's see. Let me try to go to Sky Atlas, go to M4, and even though it's not a southern hemisphere special, let's see. We have all of the M47 stuff. M4. There we go. I'm gonna set for the framing assistant, and we're gonna load that. Let's see. Oh wow, that's a smaller field of view than I expected. Huh. Maybe I need to use the one at 5. Let's see. Then maybe not. Maybe we can go, Lucas suggested NGC 6726, which is a Southern Hemisphere special. So let's try that. Sky Atlas. We're going to go NGC, what is it? 6726. There we go. Set for framing assistant. Aha! That looks like it's going to be interesting. Oh wow, that looks like it's going to be fun. I'm almost stressed out right now because I hope I'm not going to slew the telescope. I want to do a manual slew first, not directly a sequence. See what happens. And remember, this is a remote session from Japan to Chile. I'm sharing my screen, right? Yes, I'm sharing my screen. We're good. Yes, I want to go. Where do I want to go? I want to check the mount. We are not parked, so we're good. I want to go back to the Sky Atlas. I'm just going to click on slew and see what happens. It's super stressful to know that I'm controlling, someone there. Ooh, it's there. It's moving. I cannot believe that I'm controlling directly one of my subscribers and supporters' mount and equipment all the way from Japan to Chile. This is absolutely insane. Let me know in the chat if you think that's insane, or if you think no, that's perfectly normal. I'm not impressed at all. Let me know. Oh, this is awesome. Let's see. Let's go to the imaging side of things. We're gonna try first, check the filter. We have the L filter. Let's go to imaging. And oh, I'm not used to this layout. Image. Where do I take an exposure these days? it's not my layout. I'm confused. Where's my exposure taker? So apparently, Luca, maybe you do everything effectively from the, and I don't really want to mess with your setup right now. Let's see, I don't remember how to add the camera controls. Basically, we need camera controls. Start detection, ta, 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 ta. You know what? Let's do it from a sequence. Let's go crazy then. Imaging, image history. Maybe I'll just, that's the fun thing with using someone else's thing. So let's see. You can see I'm very, very, very well prepared for this. I should have somewhere, let me check the chats while we're at it. Oh wait, we have another donation. Wow, thank you so much again for this. Can you describe the differences between using a DSLR and a dedicated camera? Because both are viable, but you can for sure fall in a trap by buying a poor DSLR. The DSLR is for sure an entry choice. So DSLRs, they're cheap. Rightmost button imaging. Thanks. Stefan, we have, okay, Stefan is in the house. Sorry, okay, I need to concentrate. Focus, Cuiv, focus. Yes, so to answer your question, DSLR and dedicated camera. So I would say DSLR, it's cheap, easy to get. The Astro mod is usually easy to do as well. And what else do we have with DSLR? It's very accessible. And also getting your 55 millimeters of back focus is fairly easy. And you can use almost natively lenses and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. At the same time, I'm not sure about like bad DSLRs per se. I'm sure there are some DSLRs that have things like the Star Eater that Sony DSLRs apparently our mirrorless cameras had or have. I don't know if they still do. We have, but the astrophotography cameras, basically, I would say I would not bother with an astrophotography camera if it's uncooled. I would always, like if you go for an astrophotography camera, you should buy a cooled astrophotography camera, and I think that's where the biggest difference with a DSLR is. Once you have a cooled astrophotography camera, you can set the temperature to -10 degrees or -5 degrees, whatever works for your climate. You can take your dark frames and or bias frames at any time. It just works. You never need to recharge the battery. You don't need to use some weird adapters. You don't have like the any sagging issue that you could have with a DSLR bayonet type of mount. You don't need those adapter to, those steering adapters with the sag that I just mentioned. And really the biggest advantage is the cooling, because sometimes DSLRs, they have the same sensor as what we have in our Astro cameras, the MX571 sensor or the MX410 sensors. They're used in DSLR cameras, just like they're used in astrophotography cameras. But to me, the biggest difference is whether it's cooled or not. The cooling makes a huge difference with the noise. Obviously, the dark current noise, the thermal noise goes way down, and that makes a huge, seriously, a huge difference. And then there is also the repeatability. You can take your flat frames anytime. You can take your bias frames anytime. You can take your dark frames anytime. Everything is always consistent. It's just so much easier to use. So that's overall, I would say, the differences. Okay, now going back, we have Stefan in the house. Stefan is the creator of Nina, so that helps, and telling us where to get the imaging. And Lucas, while I was looking away, also did the setup. So we're doing good there. We have some expert help also. Stefan actually contacted me overnight to tell me that I had made a mistake in my video I published yesterday about hiding the wrong place on one of the mount drivers, which I've done some edits, and once YouTube is done, it should go out. But thanks, Stefan, for that as well. I derped quite well. Okay, Going back, I want to take an exposure. For now, I'm going to take maybe just the L filter. I want to see what's there. 5-second exposure. See what we see. See what we see. Let's try one exposure with that scope. Fingers crossed. That's a nice color scheme, by the way, Luca. I should consider using that same color scheme. And we have stuff we do see. I think there's still some fog, but we are in focus. Yeah, we're mostly in focus. And when was the autofocus run? 2 days ago. No, 1 day ago. 1 day ago. Let me run an autofocus, see how well it works. We have a Takahashi telescope. Let's see. I'm going to trust that you have all of your autofocus parameters set up correctly, and this feels absolutely magical. We have Scott. Hi, Cuiv from Tennessee. Hi, Scott. Thank you for joining. We have Hunt and Fool. Cuiv, which mini PC are you using? So I'm not sure what Luca is using as a mini PC. I personally use a Melee Quieter 4C on one of my telescopes, and I use an Astro PC Pro on the other telescope. So the, what's the name? The Quieter 4C, it's a really good and powerful scope, mini PC. And it's very tiny, it's very easy to use in my opinion. I really like it. And I think I have a link to it down in the description if you're interested. The Astro PC Pro, I've also reviewed it on the channel. It uses a slightly older CPU in there, so it's a bit slower, but has those integrated Wi-Fi antennas that give it a lot more reach, except that I broke those antennas off, but that's just for me. Don't break yours off, basically. And what else is good? It has an integrated DC hub, just a splitter effectively, so you can power other stuff from the PC directly. It's quite convenient. So I like that. Oh yeah. Yeah, I could copy profiles, but I don't want to mess things up. Oxys is asking, Cuiv, my man, why you awake? Well, actually, I'm awake because it is 8:47 a.m. for me. I'm actually going to have to go to work at around 10 a.m. I've had a lot of overtime already this month, so I'm fine with being a bit late at work. I hope no one from my work is watching this, especially my boss. Nah, it's fine. Then what else do we have? Cuiv, good morning. Are you planning on going somewhere remote for stargazing in the upcoming Aubon holidays? The weather is not that great though, so I don't get any time off for Aubon. I will get some time off in the end of September, and I might actually go to France and just to visit my parents. So I'll do some imaging from right next to Paris. But I might also go to Annecy. It's in the French Alps to do some paragliding, and hopefully I can bring one telescope, whether it's the Seastar, whether it's my Red Cat 51 with the UMI 17 light mount. I haven't decided yet. It will depend on the amount of equipment that I'm able to put in my luggage. Or maybe it's going to be the Vaonis Vespera 2, because I'm getting one on loan soon to review. So we'll see. William, Stefan, thank you so much for everything you do. Absolutely. Nina it's awesome. It did so much for the hobby. Ziad, hey Cuiv, my money is gone because, I guess you mean because of you. Did I lose connectivity to this PC? Or did Nina actually bug out? Or the camera driver? No, we're good. Autofocus, camera timeout. Aha, Luca. Luca, what is going on? Are we having an issue? Let's try to take another exposure. Usually, that means we have a bad USB cable. Let me reconnect the camera. I'm gonna go to equipment, disconnect, and reconnect. Boop, we're good. Turn on the cooler again, and let's try to take another exposure. So There you go. You were asking me earlier about Nina versus ASIR. I mean, that kind of stuff can totally happen with the SIR. But that was a driver issue. So autofocus told us that basically, I mean, I think we're good with 3200s. So that's gonna work out. Let's see. Do we have the? I never use those icons because I have my setup already done. Where's the focuser control? Power-ups. I think we have focuser control somewhere. There. Focuser control, I'm going to put it to 3200 and start the autofocus routine again. There we go. That was interesting. Start autofocus. And the temperature, the outside temperature in those mountains right now is 1.80, like 2 degrees Celsius. Gee, it's cold. It's probably colder than at the top of Mount Fuji. Nice. Oh, wow, wait, what's going on? What is going on? What is going on? Okay, wait. Oh, man. Okay, I need to catch up. Sorry. Ooh, sorry. Okay, catching up. So first, Ziad, I'm sorry for making you use so much money. Seriously, guys, don't use money that you cannot afford to use. It's not gambling. It's just a hobby / passion / addiction. At least it was worth it, so that's good. Okay, now, so again, thank you so much for your contribution. And I'm sorry, I'm never saying your name because I have no idea how to say your name. I'm so sorry. JM, I'll call you JM. So in conclusion, the cooling reduces noise, and that's one of the big benefits, together with repeatability, being able to consistently get the same temperature night after night after night means you can take one set of dark frames and bias frames and reuse those forever. Well, maybe like not forever, but for 6 months or 1 year. You don't need to bother about anything. Still, those sensors are very small in terms of physical size, like its Micro Four Third or APS-C. Isn't a bigger sensor better? In terms of a solid angle that you cover in the sky to get a better field of view, bigger sensors are better, but you can get perfectly excellent images with small sensors because a lot of targets, anyway, they're really small targets. And so it doesn't really matter that you have a small field of view because the target still fits in the field of view. It's all about pairing your telescope with your camera and their sensor size. APS-C, by the way, is not small. I don't consider APS-C to be small. Maybe you're a professional photographer and you're using medium format cameras, but I've never used a medium format camera. There are some that are available for like $10,000 for astrophotography. So we do have medium format cameras. The problem that happens when you go full frame or medium format with astrophotography is that you really need a telescope that is good enough to support that. The Takahashi telescope that we have here is definitely good enough for that. But some other telescopes might have some trouble. It really depends. I think APS-C is actually the sweet spot for a lot of amateurs in astrophotography. And Pete gifted 50 subs. That's insane, Pete. Thank you so much for the support. 15 subs to the chat. How many people do we even have in chat? Do we have enough people to support that? We have 134 viewers. By the end of this live, everyone will be a member. Oh man, Pete, thank you so much for this. That's amazing. I cannot do like Luke. I cannot rename the camera to Pete's camera, but man, thank you so much. This is really, really super helpful. It is the original from TaupeTech. Yeah, the driver from. So there's one thing though, Luca. TaupeTech, they actually release new drivers on a weekly basis, and it's easy to replace by putting the new DLL in the folder. So if we have ever issues like that, we can update the driver. Never had issues, you are jinxed. Exactly, I just look at someone else's setup and it breaks down. So never send me a picture of your setup. You have been warned. Jose, I'm a finance analyst and ANSI is hot right now. Get hotels way ahead of time or pay a lot. If I do go to ANSI, it's going to be to do what is called a SIV, or Simulation d'Incident de Vol, which is a tour where the lodging will be provided. So I should be good. And Luis is saying thank you to Pete. That's amazing. Thank you. Thanks again, Pete. Everyone is thankful. And what are you photographing? We are going to try for NGC 6726. And it is, oh yeah, one thing as well. Luca is very right. With a full frame sensor, or if you're crazy rich, a medium format sensor, astrophotography camera, because star fields are such demanding types of targets, not only do you need telescopes that support that, but you also need to adjust the tilt of the camera to almost a perfect degree. So that's where we go. That's where we are. Okay, so we're starting to see something. Let's try. Okay, you know what? Maybe we should do a sequence, right? Let's see. So Sky Atlas. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna add target to sequencer, and we have. I think I'm gonna use basic sequence target 2600 because that's the name of the camera, and we are gonna assume that works. We have. Let's have a look. So we have the conditions. Dew heater is on. The camera, we're going to cool it to -10 degrees Celsius. The tracking will be sidereal. Yes, that works. Unpark the scope. Synchronized weight. Oh, because you have two cameras on that are piggybacked. This one is the old sequence with no coordinates. So I'm probably going to remove that. Boop. And now we have NGC 6726. We're, for anyone joining now, we are imaging from Chile. So this is a remote setup in Chile. This is what we're playing with in the mountains of Chile. And I also have the All-Star camera. This is from Luca, who's in the chat, landing effectively his scope for me to play around. And this is the first time that I do that. So this is a lot of fun. We'll have a synchronized dither. Yeah, that works. Every 5 minutes, it's going to work even if there's nothing to synchronize with. And because it's going to be, I'm going to use an L filter, LRGB maybe, because that's a good target for LRGB. Oh man, I don't remember how to use monochrome cameras with my sequences. Autofocus after HFR increase, that works. If it's so dark, maybe I should, let me think. I'm thinking. Oh, there you go. It's already set up. Luca, you are awesome. So we have all of this stuff well set up. LRGB. Okay, we're getting 300-second exposures for L. I'm going to keep the default. Luca has been imaging from Chile longer than I have, since I have imaged exactly 5 seconds from Chile right now, up to now. So, okay. And should we have a basic sequence end? I don't know. What are the loop conditions? What are the loop conditions? We're going to do what? Loop until... Hey, we're going to loop until dawn. Let's do it for now. So loop until time. There we go. And it's going to be astronomical dawn. Wow, 6 a.m. That's insane. That's so nice. I'm so jealous. Anyway, 10 hours of imaging are available. 10 hours of astro darkness right now. Of course, it's the southern hemisphere. Oh, this is so neat. Let me quickly catch up with the chat, see if there's any comments. Oh, Alex is saying that you just finished 20 hours image on this target just this week. That's awesome. Smaz Sky, hi everybody. Sorry I'm late. So we're imaging from Chile today. And saying I see Pete here before my chat even loaded. Yes, because Pete is a superstar. Okay, I didn't set loop as I do multiple targets. That's why. Cuiv, can you make a tutorial on how to make SHO colorized images out of dual band filter alone in CHILE? So CHILE is actually, I don't know how to do it in CHILE. So I need to learn first. I'm actually thinking of doing a PixInsight video with the title being just buy PixInsight already and making you a master. It's probably going to be like a 2-hour, 3-hour long video if I get to it. It's going to be a lot of work. where I show everything from the installation of PixInsight to the installation of scripts to a process flow that takes 20 minutes to do your process of pretty much any image once you're ready. And that way you have like the full steps from zero to hero type of stuff on PixInsight, because I know PixInsight is expensive, but it is worth it. It is the single best piece of equipment, because I consider it to be equipment that I bought for the hobby, and that's by a very, very, very wide margin. Just saying. Okay, Jamie is asking, good morning, Cuiv. What's the telescope you are controlling? We are controlling Lucas's telescope. It is an FSQ 85 Takahashi. And there's also a second camera on top where I'm going to ignore it for now, because things are complex enough and my brain is exploding enough by being able to just control that kind of telescope in such a dark area already. Will you be able to do a live stack with this setup? Luca, feel free to answer. I don't think so. I think the computer might be a Melee Quieter 3, which would be capable of that. So we need to install CHILE and try to do a live stack. Might be difficult. Tarns, I'm scared of buying PixInsight. There's a 45 days trial. You don't need to buy to try. Okay, we have another. Wait. Okay. Wait. Okay, guys, I'll get to your donations in a moment. Give me a second. I think we need to start the sequence. I want to start the sequence. Just to get started, do we have start guiding? Yes, we have start guiding. Do we have the guider actually working and seeing stars? Yes, we do. If I click on this play button, I do believe it's gonna work. We have wait for time, yes. Cool camera, yes. Dew heater, unparked scope, yeah, and we're cooling to -10. Yes, we're good. This is the right target. Triggers, we're gonna do a synchronized dither, which I'm just going to, yeah, I'm fine with synchronized dither. It should still work. Meridian flip is set. Autofocus after HFR increase, that works. I was the one who added that to Nina in the first place, and then people enhanced it so much afterwards. But I love this thing, it's so useful. Slew and center, run autofocus, synchronized weight. I hope that's not, okay, I'm gonna remove the synchronized weight because we don't need it. I'm not gonna synchronize between the cameras. I'm just gonna use a single scope for today. And actually just to avoid any issues, I'm gonna have just like dither after 5 exposures, sorry, 5, there we go. And I'm gonna remove the synchronized dither because I'm completely ignoring the second camera that is piggybacked, because things are complex enough as we are. Okay, anyone has any objection about me clicking the play button? Let me know within 30 seconds. Oh, and Luca has the live stack plugin installed, so maybe we can try. And Luca is telling us, I have the pleasure to announce that it's clear. The All Sky has moisture, so that's great. I'd watch that 3-hour PixInsight video. And guys, Gonzalez and JM, I'll get back to you. Give me a second. I don't see any objections. Stefan, thanks so much for joining. Thanks for your help. And a round of applause to Stefan. He's the guy who made Nina, so effectively. So thanks so much, Stefan. Have a good night. Clear skies. Cheers, mates. And thanks again for the email overnight to warn me. Okay, I'm gonna click the play button. Boop. Waiting 3 hours. Stop. Why are we waiting? Wait for time. Oh, okay. Let's remove the wait for time. We're good. Play button. Aha! We're slewing. This is so cool. This is so cool. I'm so stressed out. It is so stressful to use someone else's rig. I hope I don't break it or anything. Oh man, it is so stressful. I love it. Okay, now I can go to your donations. So we have Gonzalo. Gonzalo, 5,000 ARS currency. ARS currency. Argentine pesos donation. Thank you so much for your connection. The question for your donation. I'm just connecting to the live stream. At what latitude is the telescope? Roughly 30 degrees south. Greetings from Argentina. That's true. You are relatively close. You're closer to this imaging site than I am. That's for sure. That's awesome. And thanks so much for your support. And then JM, to my understanding, larger telescopes such as Newtonians can work better because you collect more light. So a bigger sensor. Oh yeah, we disabled the IR, so now we don't see the camera anymore. That makes sense. Sorry, going back to the question. Where was I? Yes, to my understanding, larger telescopes such as Newtonians can work better because you collect more light. So a bigger sensor would make sense, but I get it. You need. So I made actually a video about that recently. The video is called like, is focal ratio lie? But yes, you're collecting more photons overall with your telescope, but then you also have your focal length. And that determines the how much you spread the light over the surface area of the sensor and outside of the sensor as well. And it is true that if you look just at the étendue, at the sensor level, so you take the solid angle covered by your sensor of the sky, covered by your sensor, mathematically speaking, a larger sensor will receive more photons than a smaller sensor. But if I take my larger sensor and I crop to the same area as a smaller sensor, we'll have the same signal to noise ratio on a per pixel basis, or for that crop in the center, with the two assuming the same sensor characteristics. So let's say the IMX533 and the 6200 MC Pro cameras. They're basically the same, just one is a smaller sensor than the other. But yes, you're absolutely right. Larger sensor, it means larger field of view. It means more light is falling on the sensor overall. Although if you can crop down to an area that would be covered by a smaller sensor, and you'd basically be getting the same result if you have cropped down. So really the main advantage, I would say, of a large sensor, besides feeling better that you are making full use of the imaging circle of your telescope, is the ability to have a larger field of view. But the telescope needs to be able to support that. There's a disadvantage with a lot of large sensors. I'd say the IMX410 is an exception to that, but the 2600 MC Pro, for instance, cameras, or MM Pro cameras, they have a lot of pixels. They have like 60 megapixels, 62 megapixels, something like that. So that's a lot of data. And if you're taking a lot of exposures, if you're in a light polluted area and you're doing broadband imaging, you'll be taking like 30-second exposures. Throughout the nights, you'll end up with hundreds of those exposures. Yeah, have fun stacking that. So there are some drawbacks there for sure. Okay, what do we have? Just out of curiosity, have you checked out Deep SNR? So yes, I have checked out Deep SNR. I do think that Noise Exterminator still works better, and I haven't quite compared it to Graxpert yet, but I'll probably do a video on the topic. Shopcap folder, okay, no remote tack, like hiring a Porsche, exactly. We're basically hiring a Porsche there with a remote Takahashi. Anthony, hi, Cuiv, how exciting. And here I am in borderline. Get that puppy going. So that puppy is imaging. We'll have the first exposure in 4 minutes. Everyone cross their fingers. Wayno, PixInsight is 500 Australian dollars, then need to add Blur Exterminator. Wayno, this is my trust me bro guarantee. You will not regret spending those 500 Australian dollars and the additional 100 for Blur Exterminator. It will serve you better over the years than any scope or mount or filter you could buy. Seriously, I'm serious. And stop calling me Shirley. No, wait. Jamie, maybe consider refocus after certain FWHM change. So yes, the sequence actually does that. we have this if it autofocused after HFR increase. And the way that this works, or at least the way that I built it at the time, they did a lot of other enhancements after I coded that particular thing. But the way that I built it at the time was that it creates a baseline. And at the time I had hard-coded 4 samples, I believe. And now you can set your sample size here. But it will take 10 exposures. Out of 10 exposures, it gets the baseline HFR from your exposures. And then it will keep monitoring. And if it sees a trend that would put your next exposure HFR higher than 5% above your baseline, then it will trigger an autofocus. So it looks into the future, at least the way I had coded it was with linear interpolation. I assume it's still there, where it looks into the future and it determines that if your next exposure would be unsatisfactory in terms of focus based on the HFR trend, then it's going to do the autofocus. This is actually a really smart thing, if I do say so myself. Oh man, Cuiv needs to take eat some humble pie there. But I'm really proud of that one. This AF after HFR increase. I was really proud of building that into Nina at the time. And Alex is joining me to say the same thing. Wayno, trust me, PixInsight plus BXT, NXT, SXT, it's worth it. It's easily worth it. Yeah, I tend to agree. It's a lot of money, but dang, it is worth it. Okay, we're 1 minute 20 seconds away from the first image. As a northerner who has moved to the southern hemisphere, I can attest that the southern hemisphere is amazing. Yes, we are all jealous. Maybe I can convince my wife to move to New Zealand. She's actually currently working for a Japanese politician, so it's probably not going to work out for now. What else? Dark Sky Geek has a tutorial, the Bubble Nebula. Nice! So there we have a tutorial for Cyril. So that's awesome. Thanks so much for chiming in. It's awesome to see, like, we have a random live stream and people are helping each other on the chat. I love that. I love this hobby. I love this community. Just saying it, putting it out there. We are 20 seconds away. Interesting. Usually DPSNR is on par or better with NXT. That is, if the data is prepared correctly. Okay, Vexari, let me know, what does it mean to prepare the data correctly for DPSNR? I need to read the part 2. Let me go to the imaging tab. Oh, wow! Oh my gosh. That's just insane, man. Oh my gosh. This is a single... Lucas. Lucas. What is this? What is... Oh my gosh. By the way, the guiding on the RA axis is not doing great, mate. I don't know what's going on. Let me look at your guiding parameters. But it's not that bad, actually. Yeah. 2 seconds. This is an AM5, right? Do you mind if I go to with 1 second? Okay, you know what? I'm just going to do it. Temps de pause de la caméra. Parce que oui, cet ordinateur est en français. Okay, let's try 1 second. 1 second exposure. Because the skies are so dark, we should still have access to all of the stars. No problem whatsoever. And I'm going to probably increase the aggressiveness of RA to like 80. There we go. Probably should be giving us better guiding. There we go. Okay, now I can go back to looking at that image. That is insane. insane. That is absolutely insane, guys. I cannot believe this. Let me look at your reactions on the chat. Yeah, okay. Same reactions. Oh man. Oh my gosh. That is Luca, just thank you so much, Luca. This is insane. This is so beautiful. And that's with the compression of the remote desktop, and we're seeing this. That's absolutely insane. And James is saying that's NGC 6726. All right, looks similar from my place. Bortle 4. Okay, I think this is, although this here, we are in like Bortle 1 or 2 in this area. We are one valley away from professional observatories, like the, what is it? What's the name? LSST Gemini telescope is one valley over from where we are. That is insane. And we have, oh my gosh, JM, again, thank you so much. Thanks for answering the previous questions. Here's the last one. As many as you like, mate. You don't need to do a donation each time you ask a question. Oh my, but it's very much appreciated. Thanks so much. I got a house at a Bortle 4 location recently. Do you think it is worth to buy an extreme size newt for that, or just stick to refractors? So that's okay. I'm going to answer in a moment. I just want to say like what this is, the red. We just got the red image, just with the red filter. This is absolutely insanely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm absolutely insane. So okay, let me first answer GM. So it's actually it really depends. Your scope decision depends on a lot of factors. It depends on your budget. It depends on the mount that you can afford. If you're going to have a large size newt, you're going to need a very good mount. Maybe something like the Warp Astron WD-20 that I featured on the channel. Maybe that's not even going to be enough. Maybe also like the Pegasus Astro NYT 101 that you might need. And oh, Luca is doing the live stack while I'm talking. That's awesome. What I was saying, yes. So you really need a very good mount, and also large Newtonians, they tend to be sails in wind. So even with an extremely good mount, if what am I saying? I'm gonna go to. I see Luca is doing some stuff on the PC. I want him to not stress out about seeing anything on the desktop that he doesn't want to show us. So I'm going to my main camera now. What was I saying? Yes, so sail in the wind with a large Newtonian. So it's very sensitive to wind. So you need to make sure that the area you set up your scope at is not prone to having a lot of wind. And because you're using a large newt, you will have a long focal length. So you will have a small resolution per pixel or a large resolution per pixel. So maybe like 0.5 arc seconds per pixel, something like that. That means it's extremely sensitive to any small movements. So you see you get more impact from wind, you need a better mount, and at the same time, you need to be able to have better tracking. So you have more obstacles and it's more demanding at the same time. So it's very difficult to say. There's of course the collimation of the Newtonian. If you get a good quality Newtonian, that shouldn't be too big of an issue, but it's definitely something to get used to. If you're not used to, I highly recommend buying an OCAL collimating camera for the newt if you go that way. If you're more of a beginner, I would still recommend a refractor. And with a refractor, if you have the budget, you can still go for a large refractor. Sorry about that. You can still go for a large refractor, like 120 millimeters aperture, should work pretty well as well. So it's also compromised with the camera that you'll be using, the field of view that you'll be getting, the resolution that you'll be getting. It's a very personal choice, but it's not a choice you can make without thinking of the rest of the equipment. Your telescope choice, you have to take into account your mount, your conditions, your camera, as well when you're making that decision. Okay, Luis, I'm processing data from last night's Bordeaux 3 trip just to get M31 and learn more about my system in Portugal. That's awesome. Everyone, wish good luck to Luis. I hope you got some awesome data there. Okay, I think I can share my desktop again. There we go. And we have, I think somewhere the live stack, I'll be having a look in a moment. But this is what the maybe blue filter. I don't even know where we are anymore. I think that's the green filter result. It's completely insane, guys. And yeah, we almost don't need a live stack because it's so beautiful. Oh, man. So Luca, it's a new optical train, so it didn't look, didn't get looked much after. But, oh wait, what is happening with the guiding? Okay, I'm going to stop the guiding. Luca, did the telescope slew? Or did we hit the meridian? I'm going to stop the sequence. Stop the sequence. We didn't hit the meridian. It just stopped guiding well, suddenly for no reason. So the mount either stopped listening or it was stuck somewhere. And now well, wait, we were back. Oh, so maybe you were touching the telescope? Let's see, we're back. The guiding is back again. Okay, we're good. That was weird. Okay, never mind. I don't know what happened. So I'm just gonna click play again. That should work. Okay. There we go. Luis, so yes, you're all over the world and inspiring all kinds of people. Thanks so much, Luis. I was using the Duo before. Oh, okay, I see. The Duo is a good camera as well. James, what is insane? Is it because you're used to Tokyo light pollution? Yes, that's why it's insane. The signal to noise ratio we're getting from a single exposure is absolutely insane to me. This is complete craziness. Also, I don't like seeing that, so I'm just gonna do a quick control click. Boop. Control click to remove the bad guiding from my view. And the guiding is actually better with my changes there. 1 second exposure, aggressivity 80%. So Luca, there is some slight merit to lending me your equipment. I get to mess with your PhD 2 guiding parameters to make them better. There we go. Okay. Oh, this is so fun, guys. I still cannot believe that I am imaging with a Takahashi telescope in Chile right now. Anyway, so let's see. What is insane? Yes, so I answered that. Yes, correct, Alvaro. This is NGC 6726. Greetings from Chile. So Alvaro, I am in Chile right now. I mean, not virtually in Chile. So yeah, we're imaging from minus 30 degrees, roughly, latitude. And this is, to me, it's insane. It's absolutely beautiful with a single exposure. And Lee, we are using a Takahashi FSQ 85. Fruity Records, we don't need the stack. It's a Bortle 1 zone. The seeing is 0.5 arc seconds, which is insane seeing. And yeah, Phil is saying very pretty. As a Bortle 8 imager, dark nebula are a novelty. Yeah, for me too. I've never taken an image of a dark nebula except, well, the Horsehead Nebula is technically a dark nebula. There we go. We have taken images of dark nebulas before. So there we go. Anthony, any chance you can give a quick lesson how to adjust the image preview black point and brightness? Not sure how to explain. That's why I need a lesson. So yeah, I mean, it's in the settings. Yeah, maybe. I don't really want to do that right now. Let's see if I... Oh, wait. Okay. Wait. Okay, I need to catch up with things. So I'll quickly go through that. It should be under imaging. Was it under imaging? I don't remember. Where is it? Where is it? Equipment then? General? Wait, where is it? I forget. It used to be in those settings where there was basically you have like a sigma number. Oh, okay, never mind. I'm not finding it. The stretch. Well, no, I cannot show you because I'm not finding it. I don't remember where it is anymore. So never mind about the stretch. Maybe it's in... Nope. So sorry, can't help you right now, but I'll have a look later. Let's see. When trying to run deep SNR on OSC data, you need to do a one-time CFA drizzle with... Oh yeah, that's what I did actually. Although I did not use var shape. That's a very specific thing, Vixari. That's very, very specific. Huh. Yeah, I don't know if we can ask everyone to do that though. Interesting. Okay, well, I'll keep it in mind. I'm actually going to take a screenshot of that. Pop. That way I can try that out. And weather updates. Humidity is to the roof, 85%, and we are only at 21. Only at 21.2 mag arc second. I'm like at 17 here. So Luca, humble brag much? Chuck from Chuck's Astrophotography has joined. Chuck, thanks for joining. We're imaging from Chile with a remote telescope lent by Luca. This is the result of a single 3-minute red exposure, and that's amazing. Glitch in the matrix. Yeah, there was a glitch in the matrix. I was jinxing the guiding there. Did the image shift when that happened? We can actually check if the image shift, but I would need to see. There's on my imaging type, I have a list of images, so I could go back to the previous image. I think it did. I think the previous image was slightly higher up. The core there was slightly higher up, so we did have a shift. So PhD2 pushed the image away a bit. We're not sure exactly what happened there. Okay. Oh, so many messages. There we go. Yeah, Lucas, yeah, it shifted. It definitely shifted. This was before the guiding mishap. Let me put it, let's say, here. Before the guiding mishap, after the guiding mishap. Yeah, there's a shift. That's fine. We're losing some field of view. Actually, no, that's not fine. You know what? I don't like losing field of view, so we're going to stop that and slew and center will be reset. And then we're going to click play again. And now we're going to slew and center, and I need to reset the start guiding as well. There we go. So with those two, we should slew and center, start guiding, and then back to exposing as before, if I didn't make any mistake. Fingers crossed. We'll see. Yes, a good point, Chuck. Thanks so much for asking. Yes, we did have some movement between the frames. JM, hey, you're welcome. If I couldn't afford it, I wouldn't do it. I appreciate your content. I feel like some of these questions are generic enough to answer other people's too. And absolutely, I completely agree. Thanks again for your support and for the questions. They're very interesting because a lot of people, you are right, have the same questions. And we have 2 likes on your comment. I'm adding a 3rd one because people agree. So thanks so much for that. And let's see. We have another Gonzalo, I believe, right? Yes. Again, It's 3 hours until my birthday in Argentina, but it's already my birthday in Japan. You have the opportunity to say happy birthday to me from the future. Gonzalo, happy birthday. And I am living in the future. Actually, it's a fun thing, but people say that Japan has been living in the year 2000 since 1980, because in some areas we're really living in the past. It's kind of funny. So happy birthday. That's awesome. How old are you turning? Let us know. So are we? Yes, we are guiding again. That is good. We're guiding again. We slewed again. We centered again. And now we are imaging again. Phew. That was a close one. So you can see again, reminder, guys, do not ever send me pictures of your equipment. I break your equipment by just looking at it. Oh man. Bill was saying advanced settings. Advanced settings. Was there advanced settings? Oh, there we go. Okay. So I don't remember who asked earlier, but there was a question about the how to change the auto stretch settings in Nina. And they're under options, imaging, and thanks Bill, advanced settings. And the two main things that you want to do is to play with is the stretch factor and the black clipping. And basically it's the stretch will compute two things. It will look at all of the pixels in your image, and it will look at the brightness of each pixel. Then it will average out that brightness for the whole image. So it looks at the overall pixel brightness across the image, and that's the mean of the pixel brightness. At the same time, it will compute the standard deviation. So how much of a spread there is between that mean and, let's say, the lowest value, highest value, kind of like a model of the spread of those brightness values throughout the image. So once you know that, we have the mean of the image and we have the standard deviation of the image. And what this is saying is that the auto stretch will stretch so that the mean of the image becomes 0.2 on the scale from 0 to 1. So if you want your image to be stretched more, you can set it to 0.3, 0.25. If you want the image to be a bit darker, you can set it to 0.15, 0.1. And at the same time, if I were to set it to a stretch factor of 0.3, for instance, the image will be brighter. But that also means that there will be probably noise in the background that will also be brighter. And so maybe I want to clip the darks to move the dark point to the right, to kind of clip the histogram, to artificially remove some of the background noise so I can have a better look at the brighter sections of my image. This is what this does. And what this does is that I take the mean, then I count 1 standard deviation to the left, 2 standard deviation to the left, 2.8 standard deviations to the left, and that's where I set my dark clipping. So that's what this does. If your image is bright enough for your brighter areas, but you have a lot of noise, a lot of stuff you don't want to see in your image that is in the darker areas, you can increase this black clipping. And by that I mean as a negative value. So if you could increase it to -2 or -1.5, that kind of stuff. That's how you can play with those two parameters. And I don't know if it still does that, but at the time, the star detection did rely on your stretched image. So changing those parameters also affected the star detection. And I think it's still the case. So be careful when you do that, because you could affect your autofocus, for instance, because it depends on those stretch settings. Hope that answered the question. And that was a complex answer to a simple question, and I apologize about that. Okay, whew. Thanks so much, Alex, Bill, for pointing me in the right direction. Now that I could see the settings, I was able to answer the question. And what else? Nathan, what would you all recommend for a good planetary telescope between $500 and $1,000 US? I mean, personally, I would say Schmidt-Cassegrain, specifically a Celestron Schmidt-Cassegrain telescope. The larger that you can get for that budget, the one that I typically recommend would be what I think is the sweet spot, the C9.25. You need to make sure that you can cool down the telescope, or you can insulate it effectively. Cool, we have a new frame. Oh, this is the live stack. Oh, sorry, Lucas, I was bothering you. I'm going to stop bothering you. What was I saying? Yes, so the largest Schmidt-Cassegrain telescope you can get for that budget, and these days that would be Celestron. If you're able to come to Japan, then you could also buy in Japan Vixen VMC 200L, VMC 260L, but with the Japanese yen being so weak these days, that could make sense. But it's completely, completely up to you. But yeah, don't forget as well that Celestron SCTs. I don't know what's happening, Lucas. I'm not doing anything, but we're having the problem again. I don't know what's happening, Lucas. It's during the dithering. Something is happening. Also, yeah, that's a good idea. A big Dobsonian could work. Aha, Lucas, I'm letting you look into that. I've cursed your equipment. I don't know what's happening there. The mount is going crazy for some reason, but that coincided with a dither. Very interesting. But yeah, large Dobsonian is the best bang for the buck, but an SCT with a mount is probably the best. And don't forget that there's Celestron telescopes that go on sale on auctions or on classifieds quite a lot. So you definitely want to look at that. Okay. Oh wow, Luca is saying that the sky darkness or brightness is usually at 24, so excellent, and today is at 21. So we're not getting the best results possible. And Miss Kitty Wampus saying, whomever was gifting memberships, thank you. We have several people who gifted memberships. There was William, there was Pete, there was, I don't remember the name, membership gift, Alex as well. So many people have been gifting memberships, although statistically speaking, you probably got yours from Pete, statistically speaking. But I don't know for sure. Nathan, my birthday is in 11 days, will be 14. Oh wow, Nathan, astrophotographer at 13 years old. That's amazing, mate. Oh wow. So yeah, yeah, Dobsonian might be a good idea for planetary if you don't have a mount already. And I'm not moving the, right now, the person doing the changes is not me, it is Luca, who is lending me the equipment. We had two issues there with the dithering somehow that made the mount go crazy. Maybe, Luca, we could do without dithering and see what happens. And it's so funny for me to look at the options that are in French. I am French, I speak French, and yet I look at the name of those settings and I have absolutely zero idea what they mean, most of them, because I only have the English vocabulary for astrophotography. That's awesome. So Lucas, I actually have AnyDesk at the highest quality, if I remember correctly. Julio, have you ever tried ECOS with K-stars? Yes, with the StellarMate, and it works great. The setup, initial setup, is a bit painful, and it works. It used to have trouble with autofocus on Newtonian telescopes, but they added a new function for that that actually does work better. So that's really nice. Is there a histogram in Nina? Yes, there is a histogram in Nina, and the statistics, you can add that. There is a statistics tab. It's just not configured in this particular setup. Gonzalo is currently 40 years old in Chile and is 41 years old here in Japan. Quantum age, Gonzalo, quantum age. I am 39 years old, so we're close in age. So JM, again, thank you. Have you considered streaming on Twitch too, and also expanding the reach by using other social media? Yes, so Twitch, I don't have an audience on Twitch, right? So I'm not sure how efficient it would be for me to point my YouTube subscribers to Twitch. The big advantage of Twitch is that when you guys are doing good donations, like membership donations, etc., YouTube takes, or Google takes a 30% cut because Google is poor and needs your help. It's an insane cut. And if you're using an Apple smartphone and you're using the YouTube app on the Apple smartphone while you're doing your donation, out of what's remaining, Apple takes a 30% cut again. So it's completely insane. It's completely, I mean, it makes no sense to me. And that's where Twitch would be much better. But then I'm not sure whether you guys would be willing to go towards Twitch. Also Twitch has an advantage in that if you have an Amazon Prime membership, you can get rid of ads on Twitch by linking your Amazon Prime membership to Twitch. So it would be really nice, but I'm not sure. And we have and other social media. Once I go full time, I'm planning on creating a Discord channel, because then I would have the time to actually interact with the Discord channel. Maybe, oh, right, that's a good idea. The synchronized dither. Let's look, but the other setup is not doing anything, right? Yeah, the other setup is not doing anything, so the synchronized dither should not do anything. Let me quickly look at the dither parameters that we have. Dither 2 pixels. The camera dither. Look. Oh wait, we're not dithering and it's going crazy again. It's back. Are we having some crazy wind? I mean, this looks like wind. This does look like wind. Very interesting. But Lucas, just FYI, right now your dithering is only 3.09 pixels. If you want to do drizzling with your equipment, I would normally recommend around between 15 and 20 something dither pixels on the main camera. And so I'm going to try something stupid, and so we know that the guiding is having issues and I'm probably compounding stuff, but that's because it's fun. We could have 13 pixel on the dither, and that would give us, I want a fractional amount. I want a good fractional amount, so 12. Let's see, what does 12 give us? 18.5 camera dither pixels. That's probably what I would personally target with my dithering, because that makes drizzling actually better. And you could probably go with your drizzling, I don't remember the factor, but the factor can be 0.8 when you use those settings. Just FYI, so just changing that, like seeing what's going to happen. And now we're taking exposures again. Hopefully it's going to work. It's kind of fun. So Lucas, I hope you're not regretting giving me control, because I seem to have cursed your equipment. At least we're not wasting a really good night, right? So it's not that bad. Thank you, Cuiv. I am going to try Ecos with a Linux machine just for fun. It actually works remarkably well once you get it set up. It's just the getting it set up part that is complex. Apparently, there's also a new version of Ecos and StellarMate that supports controlling multiple telescopes on the same mount at once. I don't know if they do synchronized dithering or that kind of stuff, but I think that's pretty cool. Ziad, I've bought an EV scope and now my uncle is shipping it to me from Mulhouse, France to Morocco. Can't wait to test it after 7 years of dreaming of having one. That's awesome, Ziad. Looking forward to you testing it. That's going to be awesome. Smart telescopes, they're underrated. They can do amazing stuff. How do you get Nina to show pics in image history? I only see stats. Huh, that's interesting. I see the pics. It should be the default behavior. I don't know. If anyone has an idea, let John know. Trobant joined the channel as a member. Thanks so much for your support, Trobant. And we have Ride Along with Randy. Cuiv, how are you? I'm in Alpine, California. That's awesome. Thanks so much for joining. I learned so much from you. That's what I do. That's why I do what I do. So that's awesome. So we have a Takahashi FSQ 85 imaging from Chile. The humidity is super high, so we get much less good sky quality than usual. Still, we're getting some awesome results here. We also, just to fill you in, have some intermittent guiding issues. So fingers crossed that it keeps working. I heard Twitch takes more than 30% though. Oh, I had no idea. I thought Twitch took less, so I would need to check that. Yeah, for now, I guess it's gonna be YouTube. Oh, JM, what I meant is that you should be present on all the social media sites such as Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and so on. So I am present on Instagram and Facebook. I have links down in my video descriptions, and I will never join Twitter because I hate that site. So no Twitter. But yeah, Instagram and Facebook, I'm there already. Otherwise, I don't drizzle yet. So Lucas, try to keep those settings I put in and try to drizzle, because with your sky quality, dude, you have to be drizzling, especially with that telescope. Come on, drizzling plus that telescope, plus your sky quality, plus blur exterminator, mate. It's going to be insane. Do it. Pete actually went to the archaeology stuff. So Miss Kitty Wampus was wondering who gave her or them the membership, and I said statistically probably Pete, but now we know for sure. Thanks so much, Pete, again for your support. It's amazing. I have, right along with Randy, I have EM1 MK3. I have a brain fart. EM1. That rings a bell. Oh yes, of course. The EM1 MK3, 30mm f4 Pro AZ GTI, and I want to auto guide and plate solve. So yeah, that makes a huge difference. Being able to plate solve in particular is huge. And you want to auto guide. Yeah, I mean, definitely you should, and it should be possible. I don't know if Nina supports the EM1, and I don't know if DSI Air supports the EM1 either. So that would be something to check. If they do, you would be able to auto guide. You would be able to plate solve. By the way, the EM1 Mark III has a new version in Japan that is the EM1 Mark III Astro, which is the usual thing with the IR cut filter removed or changed in the sensor so you can get the H alpha better than with the standard EM1 Mark III. So that's pretty cool. I don't need to buy it. I will not buy it. But whenever I look at this website, I feel like I want to buy it. I absolutely do not need it. But yeah, it's looks like it could be fun. So what else do we have? Thank you officially. Screw the statistical odds. Yes, that's the spirit. Paul, hi from Arizona. Love Nina. Thanks for joining, Paul. Earlier we had Stefan in the chat, who is the creator of Nina. So yeah, it's really really awesome. And James, yeah, you hit the nail on the head. That's the main reason I wouldn't be joining Twitter. Is that a globular star cluster at the lower left side of the frame? Yes, it is. So let me zoom in because we're in a remote desktop from Japan to Chile. Oh my gosh, I'm still in awe of all of those details. So we're going to try to zoom in. We definitely have a little bit, I think, of humidity in the atmosphere because the stars look like they have some halo around them. Let's see. There we go. Yes, this is indeed a globular cluster there. And we're now guiding at 0.5. Knock on wood. That's going to keep working. It's doing it again. It's doing it again. What? That was not a dither, was it? Where's PhD 2? That wasn't a dither. So why does it coincide with the end of an exposure? Let me think. Okay, everyone think together. We're having an interesting symptom here. We have, even though we are not dithering, this is not a dither. At the end of an exposure, we're getting this. We're getting this spike. And then the guiding recovers. And it's kind of weird. We're not sure exactly what's happening there. It's not a dither though, right? Huh. It's very interesting. Not sure what could be causing that. Could it be, as someone else mentioned, that I should have used the synchronized dither? But that doesn't, I mean, the other scope is not doing anything. Okay, Luca, you know what? I'm going to close the second instance of Nina, just to be safe. Just to be safe, if you don't mind. Actually, even if you mind. I have commandeered your equipment, so I'm closing Nina. Goodbye, Nina. Okay, and we'll see. Maybe it was something to do with the synchronized dither. In theory, now we have nothing that could be causing issues with our imaging. And man, again, this is so beautiful. So let me go back, see what's in the chat. Wait, did I miss someone? So I don't remember whose question I was asking. Oh yeah, I was answering. James Kennedy, welcome to membership. Thanks so much for joining as a member. That's awesome. If Cuiv allow me, I will share my image on Astrobin. Go for it, Lucas. Just take control whenever you like. The chat there is delayed by like 30 seconds or so for me. But if you want me to do anything real time, just send me a message on Instagram, and we can figure things out. Okay. Twitch takes between 25% and 30%. Okay, so it's similar to YouTube. Then it's yeah. Then never mind. Both Twitch, YouTube, Google, all of Apple, all of big tech, they're poor. They have to make money somehow. They have to take money away from you and away from me and put it in their coffers. It's not like Apple has billions of dollars in cash in the bank. Okay. Might be the fox running around the set. Wait, what? Lucas, are you serious? Might be the fox running around the setup. Are you serious? I hope you're not serious, because in Japan I had a monkey run around my setup once when I was in a dark zone. So it might actually be true. So yeah. Is this an off-axis guider, and are you changing filters? There, Dave, you got it. It is an off-axis guider. Okay. Options. I mean, I don't know if it's an off-axis guider actually, but it is changing filters, and so we should. But we have disable guiding during autofocus. Is on. Let me toggle it back on just to be sure, and let's see what's happening with the guiding right now. So this was a dither, so we're good. maybe indeed closing, like there was some gremlin that was left over from the synchronized dithering option, and the second instance of Nina was causing issues for whatever reason. It's not impossible, but it would be a nice gremlin to have found. Let's see. Power limited, maybe a CPU lag. I think it's yeah. Maybe, maybe not. For now, we've closed the second instance of Nina, and we've stopped the power to the cooler of the second camera. So we should have power to spare. And yeah, let's see what happens. Maybe the issue is fixed. James is saying, perhaps after each exposure, the rig gives itself a high five. I love this. I love this, absolutely. And the rig is right to give itself a high five. It deserves it. It deserves the high five. Absolutely. I love that as a suggestion, James. Oh yeah, I was checking that my main camera was working still. Let's see. Let me go back to the imaging tab, see what we get. Right now, things are doing okay. We have 1 more minute until the next exposure is over, and we'll see if we get any issue. Now going back to JM again. JM doing a donation. Thanks again, mate. I know it's unrelated to pros, but what is your opinion over time regarding these mini smart telescopes such as Dwarf or the C-Star from ZW? There is potential, but it's weak so far. So it's not that weak, to be honest. I think the C-Star is currently the best bang for the buck. And you do get pretty good images with the C-Star. And then you have like the other end of the range, which is the Celestron Origin, which the initial images published for the Celestron Origin were pretty underwhelming, in my opinion. But some people now have their images published, and they're a bit better. I'm still not sure whether I would be willing to spend 10 times more money on the Celestron Origin compared to the C-Star S50 from ZW as a smart scope. And I feel there is actually, it's not that weak, even now. If you go to a darker zone with a C-Star, you'll be getting excellent results. Not as good, obviously, as a Red Cat 51 on a proper mount, but you'd still be getting really good results. So it's not healthy to underestimate those scopes. I will tell you, the smart telescope that I'm looking the most forward to right now is the Dwarf 3. Because the Dwarf 3 will have still a small aperture, slightly larger aperture than right now, but it will also, what will it do? Yeah, it will have native support for equatorial mode. The Dwarf 2 was like kind of unofficial support for equatorial modes. But once you have the Dwarf 3 with equatorial modes, I think it could rival some of the results that we get with the DSLR plus lens type of imaging with a star tracker. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. And I'll soon be testing the Vespera 2 from Vaonis, because it has the IMX585 sensor, and that's an excellent sensor in my opinion, and I'm looking forward to testing it. So I think there is a lot of potential in smart scopes. Most of that potential is lost to uncooled sensor and to the lack of equatorial mode. Right now, the only smart scope that has an official equatorial mode that I'm aware of is the Dwarf 2, and in a couple of months, the Dwarf 3. And the other big thing is the lack of cooling on the sensors. So even though the Vespera 2 is using a 585 sensor, it is uncooled. So we get a lot of thermal noise, and that's not great. And there's also a poor choice of sensor. Like the Celestron Origin costs like $4,000, $5,000 US. It has an awesome C6 Hyperstar tube. It has an awesome mount. Everything is awesome about that scope except the camera. The camera is using a 178 mm sensor or MC sensor, sorry, which is like what, 4, 5, 6 years old now, and it's not a great sensor by any means. It's not cooled, and that's a terrible choice as a sensor for such an expensive smart telescope. Fortunately, it's switchable, so hopefully in the future they will release a 585 module for it. But the 585 should have been the sensor they went for in the first place. I have no idea why they went with the 178. The 178 is not a good prime imaging sensor these days. So yeah, it's a lot of the potential of smart scopes is squandered to some extent right now. Sorry, that was a long thing. We also have Alan, gifting 10 memberships. Thank you so much, Alan, for that. So much generosity on the stream. This is amazing, and love it. Absolutely love it. And guys, if you were gifted a membership, say thank you to Alan. This is awesome. Absolutely awesome. And Julio saying something similar. Maybe it was the excitement for a new great frame that was just acquired. There you go. And oh wow. Gee, Jason Astro with a super cute samurai saying you're amazing. Dog samurai, Shiba Inu samurai telling me you're amazing with a donation of $50. Thank you so much, Jason. That's amazing. That's awesome. Thanks so much for your generosity, and the message is also really nice. I am, after all, amazing. I'm just kidding. Thanks so much, guys. Oh man, this is awesome. It is now 10 a.m., which in theory is actually the start of my core work hours, but my first meeting is at 10:30 a.m., so no one will notice that I'm not at work, right? And it's remote work, so it's fine. You know what? I'm gonna turn on my work computer. Shh. Everyone stay silent. Don't say anything. Shh. Yannick, Cuiv's the bad guy. Oh man, I'll definitely need to. Oops, I'll need to reconnect with AnyDesk. Here we go. Don't. Everyone stay silent. Everything is fine. Jason, thanks again for that. Also, thanks so much, Alan, for those gifted memberships. This is all amazing support, guys. And yes, we found the problem. The problem was identified as the filters, and Lucas fixed it in the background. So thanks so much for the suggestions. I think James was James is the one that suggested the rig was giving itself a high five, I think. I don't remember who suggested the filter first, but thanks so much. And we have the live stack actually going on right now. Although, with the LRGB live stacking is not quite there yet, I guess. So JM, I'm pretty sure you've heard about this controversy of some Samsung phones using AI to create the astro images, just the moon image, nothing else. So it's basically faked. I'm worried some of the sketchy companies would do this. So I'm 100% sure the C-Star does not do this because we have the raw frames. We have the individual subframes, and the individual subframes, you cannot fake that with AI for now because it's a whole, actually 12-bit or 16-bit converted raw image. AI is not able to do that right now. And also, if I move the telescope a little bit during exposure, the telescope exposure will be affected. If there's wind, the exposure will be affected. It's definitely not AI or not downloading images from the internet or anything like that. And the Dwarf 2 is the same thing. I see no sign of that having any issues or using any AI whatsoever. Vaonis, Vespera, EVscope, etc. I believe they're French companies, and I don't believe they would stoop that low. And I can double check once I get the Vespera 2, but right now for deep space imaging, they're not using this kind of AI or this kind of downloading images from the internet or that kind of stuff. And from their point of view, it also makes no sense. They want you to have a sense of accomplishment. They want you to share your images. If everyone is sharing an image that is exactly the same, then it doesn't make sense anymore. And the moon, it's easier to fudge things with the moon than it is with deep sky objects. But yeah. Sorab, yes, the stream is still going. I really need to be working, but let me check my field of view there. I'm gonna turn off my camera just so I'm sure you cannot see my work computer screen. I'm gonna open up Slack, see if there's anything urgent requiring my attention. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I get a few pings. Yeah, I think they're expecting my answer. You know what? I'm gonna give it another 10 minutes on the stream. 10 minutes on the stream. Let's just say, okay, I'm turning on my mouse jiggler as well. Mouse jigglers are your friend. Oh, Cuiv is a bad person. And yeah, that's fine. I'll check with everyone in 10 minutes. We're good. We're good. We're good. Everything's good. Everything's good. I'm gonna go back to the streaming scene there. We're good. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I want to just see. I actually prefer this image compared to the live stack. It's just so fun to see the images coming in. But yeah, I'll be calling an end to the live stream in 10 minutes. The good thing is I have not clocked into work yet, so I'm not technically stealing anything from my employer. Anyway, I have something like 20 hours of overtime this month already, so if I were to be vulgar, I would say something that, and it's the something starts with F. Let's see. Oh, James, yeah, I did say filters after the high five, but so did others. One more thing about deep SNR, and I stopped blabbering. It's usually run on max strength, and then noise is added back in with pixel math. Say like, huh, interesting. So, okay, very interesting. I'm going to take a screenshot of that as well, just so I keep track of that. Lord Hill is also working, yeah, so there we go. Ziad, the issue has already been discovered. It was called Cuiv, the curse of the lazy. It's so much worse than wind or vibration. Yes, Cuiv, just using equipment is a curse, or just looking at your equipment. Again, don't send me any of your rig pictures. The curse of Monkey Island. Sorry, the word curse always makes me think of the curse of Monkey Island. Let me know in the chat if you know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, you're probably in the same age range as I am. And Lucas saying, you know my setup is available whenever you like, so hit me if you want another shot. Absolutely. I mean, chat, let us know. Is this interesting? Is this fun to be imaging from Chile? Let us know, because I think it's a lot of fun. And yeah, I mean, definitely, Luca, I will take you up on that offer, that's for sure. Hugh Hamasaki, lol, and here I was worried about watching this while at work. I guess we better donate more. Definitely. Oh, man. Lord Hill Aquarium, I use a PowerShell script to just run a loop and then press the numlock key every minute. That's even better than using a mouse jiggler. You said work hours are kicking in. Again, JM, thanks for your donation. What is your real job? I'm a software product manager for a payment processing company in Japan. There you go. And Panther, yes, you got the reference with Guybrush Threepwood. Thanks so much. It's good to see. Fred, merci pour la vidéo sur le mode équatorial du C-Star, shooting M101 in that mode from Canada. Someone is using the C-Star with the unofficial equatorial mode. That's awesome. Wheeljack also got it. You fight like a dairy farmer. That's a meme from that game where your duels are actually insult duels. So much fun. I really need to be wrapping that up. I mean, we'll still image this, and I think Lucas has already said that he can stack the images at the end and send me the stacked raw frames, and then we can have a processing live stream to process this image that we took together in partnership with Lucas lending the equipment. That's so awesome, guys. I love this. And yes, a lot of people got the reference. I love it. Was there a donation? Oh yeah, that was Jason. Good. And I am new to the hobby and have a ZW294MC Pro. As light pollution is more of a problem, what light pollution filter would you recommend? Our camera upgrade would be better. So if I typically do not recommend light pollution filters for broadband. If you want to use light pollution filters, just go directly for narrowband imaging on emission nebulae. So I would recommend, if you're on a budget, the ASCAR C1 and C2 filters are a good start. And they would work great with the 294. The 294 is already a good camera. It's just you need to make sure about several things. You need to be careful about, you cannot take bias frames, so do not use bias frames with the 294 MC Pro. You need to have light frames. You need to have dark frames at the same gain and offset and temperature as the light frames. You need to have flat frames that are more than 3 seconds long. You do not want to have any calibration frame that you're using less than 3 seconds long. So you want to have your flat frames, let's say 3.5, 4 second long with your camera. And you also want to have dark flats or flat darks, or what I sometimes call them tomato frames, that are the same length as your flat frames. So 3.5, 4 seconds, something like that. That's actually super important with the 294, especially if you're going to use dual band narrowband filters, because they have this weird red pattern that will occur, and you need to be very careful with that. So I would say if you're on a budget, don't buy a new camera, just buy the ASCAR C1, C2 filters for general purpose broad, narrowband imaging, roughly. And if you want to go further, you could also go with the ASCAR D1 and D2 filter, or the Altair HA oxygen 3 and sulfur 2 oxygen 3 filters. There's lots of filters that can be used with that camera. With the recent stream of your videos, I thought you already quit your job. Not yet. I'm waiting for my bonus. Ziad, I've been using my Pentax K70 plus the GPS module, and I managed to reach 60 seconds at 300 millimeters with no star trails. That's awesome. The Pentax system is really super cool. I really love that. Lucas, have you considered offering people time on the scope for money? I'm in the southern hemisphere with a similar rig, but I'm in Bortle 5. Using a rig in Bortle 1 would be awesome. Lucas, business idea right there. Most of my backyard can't see Polaris. What do you recommend? The 3-point polar alignment module in Nina. You can do it without view of Polaris. Just make sure to do it twice in a row to be sure. And the ASI Air also has an all-star polar alignment mode that is similar to the Nina 3-point polar alignment. And when I say it's similar, we can say it's actually the same, because they basically looked at Nina's code and converted it to the ASI Air. So yeah, we know that for a fact because their engineers posted that in their forums. So yeah, the all-star or all-sky polar alignment in the ASI Air is the same algorithm as the one in Nina, because they just copied the algorithm over. Yeah, so those are two options for when you cannot see Polaris. I have 2 more minutes, then I really need to go. I already owned an LX Extreme, so I added the D2 filter. That's it, right, Kyle. That's a great thing. So yes, absolutely. With the 294, using Solar Rookie with your 294, if you're using the D1, D2 filters or the C1, C2 filters, they would work great. Okay, and I really need to get going there. Work is unfortunately calling. So I'll answer a last question from JM and then I will be signing off. Lucas, you can, of course, keep the imaging going. JM is saying, what do you think you would need to do in order to reach production quality similar to Astro Backyard so that the content is easier to digest? Would you even want that? I would need a lot of time, a lot of energy, a lot of training, and a lot of motivation to do that. I don't think I have any of those. And I personally don't care that much about production quality as long as the message comes across. And I think I do have a good way of explaining things in general. And the information that I provide is correct and it's helpful. And the audio is, I have those good microphones that was bought thanks to your contributions and my Patreon members, etc., and my channel members. As long as there's that, I think I don't need to have like Astro Backyard level production quality. Even when I started the channel, a lot of the comments were about how they were glad I didn't put music or transitions or all this kind of stuff in my videos. That it was just simple and to the point. And I think that's part of the character of the channel. So I don't have plans on even trying for crazy production quality at this stage. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, a lot of people, and I see that as I was saying that, a lot of people agreed. I'm leaving you, Luca, with apparently a PhD 2 error. And I'm not sharing my screen anymore, but guys, I have to really put this stream to an end. So thank you so much. Yeah, I'll keep the channel as is and simple. Don't worry about it. But thank you so much for your contributions. Thank you so much for being on the stream. Thank you so much for your questions. Thank you so much for all of the comments on the videos, for watching my videos, etc. It really means the world to me. So thanks so much, guys. And yeah, I think we are all in agreement. Again, thanks so much, guys. I will be ending the stream in, I will say, let's say, 10 seconds. So thanks so much, guys. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time. Have a good night, good day, good whatever your time zone is. And we'll do another stream, probably processing of this one. Thanks.